everyone, this is Chris. Thank you for joining me. Today's tutorial is about glass lac resin. This is the brand I'm going to show you today, and you can find this brand in the UK. Unfortunately, you can't find it in the United States, but it ships overseas, and I will put the link where you can find it in the UK, and also for people that are maybe living in other countries like Spain, you can also find it. It's a really, really good brand. And this this resin today is an epoxy resin, so it means that you need to mix part A with part B. I'm going to show you this and give you the details. And it is a doming, doming resin. It's made to pour over a piece of jewelry or anything you want to dome. And you'll see that it's really interesting because you can pour it over many, many things. So it is not made to be put into a mold, because you need only to work with a thickness up to between 2 millimeters or even lower, up to 4 millimeters, not more. So not made to put something inside if it's big, like a button or something. You need to use other kind of resin for this. So, but I really like it, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to use. So this is what I have done with only 15 millimeters. And okay, so in the box, first let me tell you this. In the box, you have this two glass lac. It comes with bottle A and bottle B. It comes also with 2 mixing sticks, 2 measuring cups, a pipette, and also a pair of gloves. This type of glove, but I've already used them so many times that I'm just using my own gloves today. And in this example, so you really need to, if you're using any kind of other brand, you really need to read what's on the packaging to make sure that you're measuring the right way. So here, for example, this bottle measures 100 millimeter, and they have bigger bottles. This one is 50. That means that you need 1 part of this, the B, for 2 parts of A. For example, you want to use about 15 millimeters in total, approximately. You need to put 10 millimeters of this and half of it in B, okay? Always twice more of A and half, like I would say, in B. So with 15 millimeters in total, I have domed all these pieces, and some of them are really big. So here I have pieces in, they were die cuts. This, and this also are die cuts, and you can see that they're pretty big. And the doming is absolutely perfect. I have put inside here, and I'll come a little closer just to, I want to make sure you can see. I had put little glitters in here, as you can see, but they're quite flat. I'm going to use other ones that are much flatter with a flat back, which is nice. So you can still put something very, very thin, but not too thick. These are wooden pieces, things I have made. I'm going to show you one of these. And other kinds of little things I have made. Some leftovers that I put them together to make pendants. So it's really fun to do. You can resin wood, you can resin paper, you can resin pictures, you can resin, what did I say? Pictures, resin, wood, about everything actually. Okay, so let me put this apart. And we're going to use the resin pad 2, the one that I showed you previously. So first we're going to mix our 2 parts here, resin, and I'm going to do again 15 millimeters. So I'm going to use in one of these part A. Okay, so first, something important before pouring your resin, make sure that your cups and all your tools are really clean. And speaking about cleaning, it's written on the packaging that when you want to clean them, you can use acetone. And you can use also white spirit, which you can find everywhere in your stores. As for my experience with the pipette, I would not use acetone because this is plastic. And I have tried using acetone for cleanups, but it's just eating the plastic. It's not good at all. So if you want to clean that up after using it, first you make sure that you're not going to wait until it's dry, because when your resin is completely hard, you just need to throw it away. You won't be able to take anything out of this pipette. And if you want to clean it, you just put a little bit of white spirit into a bowl or a cup, and you just squeeze everything into here, make your white spirit go up to the end here and back out, and you throw it away. Don't use it again. To really clean it up, I don't use pipettes that much, but it might be more comfortable for you. That's totally fine. So now let's get to it. I'm going to put in 1 measuring cup. I'm going to put, and you've got here some, I'm not sure you're going to see it, but there are some measurements from 10, 20, and 30 millimeters on both. So I'm going to put part A, I'm going to put 10. So part A is quite thick. Make sure that you're really putting the exact amount. I'm not going to be able to show you that perfectly, but you're going to have to believe me. I'm putting part A 10, a little bit more. Make sure also that your table is leveled, your working space, because otherwise when your resin is going to dry, it's not going to be straight. Your resin is going to be thicker on one side than the other, so make sure that your table is really leveled. Just going to take a little bit off here, just a tiny bit. There you go. And honestly, what I like about this resin is that there is no smell, or hardly any smell, which is good, because usually resin tends to smell quite hard. Be careful when you pour part B. It's more liquidy, so go really slow. And this is why you should use 1 cup for A and 1 cup for B, because just in case you forget that and you pour too quickly, you pour too much, if you pour the both in the same cup, you won't be able to take it away and it's going to be ruined. Okay, so now part B. And now I'm going to use a bigger cup and pour that into my cup. And it's just a random plastic cup. I think I'm going to invest in some silicone cups because, and it doesn't cost a lot, so I won't have to use every time plastic cups, which is not good for nature. So when I can, I try to do something good, you know, recycle, and something smaller, because cups can be big. And I'm really trying to take everything out of this cup, because don't leave too much first, because you don't want to waste. And second, because you really need to get the right amount in there. On the package it says that you've got about 15 minutes to use this resin. Honestly, it's about 20 degrees here in my room, and I've used it over 45 minutes and it was still good to use. It was not hardening too much. It was just great. Maybe not, yeah, and you're supposed to use it between kind of 19, 25 degrees Celsius, of course. All right, and the hotter, the quicker it's going to set, so keep that in mind. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I forget, you need to mix it for about 3 minutes. It's going to be opaque in the beginning, like all epoxy resin. That's normal. Don't worry about the bubbles, because they're naturally going to go away. And second, I'm going to use a lighter. Some people prefer to use a straw, but I don't like to use a straw, because if you blow too hard, you might push your resin, and sometimes, let's face it, you might also blow a little bit of spit. And water and resin doesn't go well together, do not go well together, sorry. So yeah, for me, straws, I don't like that. I really prefer to use a lighter, and I love candles, so I always have a whole bunch of lighters around me. So yeah, I think it's honestly, it's much better. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do now, and my resin is setting so the bubbles can go away, we're going to prep this piece. So it's just some pieces of wood. I've bought these, all these pieces together. It was like a buck, maybe 10 different pieces. But as you can see, this is the original color, and it's quite pale. So first, if you want to buy things like that, if you want to color them, please do so, and you're going to make beautiful embellishments. And I would consider also making the holes before pouring your resin, because the resin is so hard afterwards that it might break when you want to make the hole or then drill it. So I did the holes already with my crocodile, and now what I'm going to do, and I'm using alcohol markers because there is a coating on this plier wood. And if I use regular markers, it's not going to dry. So I'm just going over with a little bit of that color, and I'm going to go back inside with some pink. What is lacking in this set is that I don't have any blending tool. So I'm going to put this one here. This one is done. Let's move it aside. And I'm going to pour my resin on top. All right. So a big part of the bubbles have gone away. All right. And now I'm going to spread the resin right to the edge. Make sure, use the light to see exactly where you're spreading the resin. That's really important. Go around your hole and really go up to the edge. Don't be scared. That's the way it's going to be domed. And in case you missed a spot, don't worry. You can, when it's dry, you can always come back and pour a little bit more. All right, I don't see any bubbles, but I'm going to wait a few minutes to make sure that none of the bubbles are going to go back up. And then I'll use the lighter. I think I have something on my stick here. All right, so that was wood. Now I'm going to show you, this is a die cut. It's just paper. Normal paper die cut, and I'm going to put here, I know I said it's not to put anything inside, at least not too thick, but these are flat back embellishments, and I just want to put one or two here, well, maybe a little bit more of these flat back pearls, because I have the feeling that it needs some. All right, I hope you'll be able to catch that on camera. I'll show you probably this afterwards, but I think it gives a lot of pop, and I'll show you what to do with that in the next video when it's completely dry and cured. So I'm putting this one next to it, and I'm going to pour my resin on top. All right, that's enough for now, and if I need more, I'll put more. And again, and it's going very fast actually. Don't be worried. Don't be scared. I know that some of you are scared of resin. I used to be when I was a beginner not so long ago. I'm not a professional for sure, but now I feel really more comfortable. That's the best way to go. Give it a try. Have fun. Whatever you do, please have fun. Crafting must be fun. And do things the way you like them. I'm here to show you how to do it. Sometimes I've got my own techniques. I have tried different things, and I always share what I am more comfortable with. But if you are happier with another technique, that's totally fine too. Okay, I think I'm a bit too close. That's better, so you'll be able to see everything. And even though it's paper, I am going to use my lighter on top. Gonna go on top of here. Yeah, I did have little bubbles. And even though it's paper, I'm going very quick, but it is taking away all these little bubbles. And come back maybe in 5 minutes to do it again in case you have some bubbles coming up. It can happen. Now I'm going to show you another material. So this was wood, this was paper, and now here I have a piece of, I can't flip it back because everything is painted, but this is, how do you call that? Plaster of Paris. I need a nice coat of resin to really make it shiny, and you'll see next time how shiny it is, how hard it is if you use it, and also the fact that it looks like water. It is absolutely beautiful. And the doming effect does give a lot of professional look, a perfect finished look. Okay, now on this side I have an embellishment. This is also made of wood, but I used acrylic paint and some blings inside to decorate it. I've not made any hole in this one because I want to use this pendant with a bell on the back, and I think that with the resin it's going to be gorgeous. I already like the way it looks, but I believe that with the resin it's going to be even better. Sorry for my hand. And I'm showing you that whatever the shape is, it's still going to work perfectly. Use the light to make sure that you've got your resin everywhere. Where it's shiny is where you have your resin, and where it's not is where you don't have it. So that's the best way you can see if you need to pull your resin really up to the side. Oh, that's perfect. All right. Let me see. I need to make sure that everything is in place before it dries. No, this one needs to be pushed there. And honestly, you need to take your time. Don't be in a hurry. And now, last but not least, I'm going to make this one here. So this was made with air dry clay, some acrylic stones. I wanted to do a big cabochon. Not sure yet what I'm going to do with, probably also another pendant. And I still have a lot of resin. So I think I'm going to color it, and actually I'm going to use the molds here that I have. Yeah, that's a great idea. So it's getting a little thicker, but I still can really use it. And it's going to overflow, but I don't really mind, because I'll always be able to cut it later on and sand it down. But I really want this to go on the sides. And I'm also going to use the inks, the color resin from Cleopatra, because they're perfect. This is, you have 6 bottles in here. It looks like this. So actually you have 6 different colors, and I spilled this one last time, plus 2 transparent ones here. So if you want to make your own colors, you have 2 empty bottles to do that. So I'm going to use a little bit of red and a little bit of blue, I think, for today. So as I showed you last time, you have embedded into this mat, you have here some molds, and I'm going to use that actually. So I won't spoil what I have here. I have these feathers. And I'm going to use this, and I'll put the color after. I'm going to just fill it with the resin right now. And it's not really deep. It's about 2, maybe 3 millimeters, but it's just fine. And now I'm going to pour that resin inside. As I said, a little bit of, whoops, this is way too much. Okay, my bad. And I'm going to put some, all right. So it's not going to be the same color everywhere. You'll understand that better when I will unmold the whole thing. And I am mixing a little bit, taking a little bit of my blue here into my red and a little bit in here. I like when it has a marble look. So you can really play with this. Look at that. And I could do more. I still have some left over, so I'm going to find something to coat. But I think you understood the whole thing. So I'm going to put something on top to protect my pieces here from dust and also a little bit from light, especially when it cures. It's better in a dark place too. And in about 20 to 48 hours, I'll come back. Actually, it seems to be very cure for me after 24 hours, but it recommends you to wait for about 48 hours, and it's completely cure after about a week. But honestly, I have used this resin before, and I wear the pieces of jewelry after 48 hours, and I've never had anything going wrong. It's just maybe to avoid the scratches on the surface, but really it hardens so well that I'm in love with this resin. So there you go. If you have any questions, please leave them on the comment section below. I always come back to you. Or if you just want to say hello, that's great as well. Again, I will put a link for people in UK where you can find this brand. Please subscribe to this channel and give me some thumbs up. It really helps my channel being a little bit more noticed. And also subscribe, hit the bell button, and share on social medias. Thank you so much. Take care and see you soon.